Welcome back to Sunday Football Heritage Round, celebrating the 80s. Oh, magnificent here. A little bit of love song there, Dwayne. And let's go to a man who spread a lot of love during the 80s as a coach, Dennis Cometti. Welcome. Simple Minds, that was.
It was, and
I had Michael Roberts teed up for that intro. No question. Nice to be here. Beautiful day in Launceston.
he used to get the leather pants out in the 80s, I was told too, Dan.
Who told you that?
Let's go down to Michael Roberts. I tell you what, a man who did his best work in the 80s.
Thanks, Doom. I tell you what, I got the oil on. I've actually got the old St.Kilda jumper under the suit. But it is fantastic. We were playing down here on a Sunday. Back in our day, we would have got home Thursday. We'd have had a bit of a trip away, but a bit of an update on Warren Treadray. He was never going to make it. He trained Friday night. Mark Williams ruled him out. 20 people in the box, in the St Kilda box too. Tomo making a statement today.
Sunday football is underway, and immediately Del Santo will get a free kick. Advantage is paid. Ball emerges with the footy and goes down towards half forward. Milne, about 60 metres from goal. Wilson takes in front on, back to Peckett. Harvey just outside the 50 to the middle. Montagna, awkward one, can't find a path through. Ball jarred out. Thurston's in trouble, tried to lay it off. Harvey once again. Salopek gets a hand pass away. Symes, now Wakeland. Canecorns across the ground to the opposite pocket. Pettigrew, man on towards the middle is Loney. Loney in his own defensive 50, squares the ball, goes out to right half back. Burgoyne off a step, just pops it to open space, and the mark is taken by Pearce.
Chad Corns playing up forward in the absence of Treadray. They need a target. They need somebody who can mark the ball above the head.
In fact, it was Carlisle, I think, it kicked it across.
Bob, as they call him, the Port players, because they can't really pronounce Alapate all that well. So the first game has had a couple of touches early.
That's the kind of nickname that Jamie Turner got at Collingwood. They didn't know his name, so they called him Nurky, just Fred Nurk. No one knew his name.
Chaplin to Loney to Thurstons, who's got it at half back. Spears the pass, and that's poor. Straight to the captain of the Saints, Luke Ball, who's got it and has it held up on the wing, goes backwards, as we quite often see from teams that are just feeling each other out early. Nick Del Santo all the way back to Fisher.
Fisher squares it to his namesake. So from Lee to Sam, wide to the wing and Peckett. Blake breaks for him. That's ignored. He comes back towards the middle. Baker to Graham inside the centre square. Delayed it eventually. Gives it to Montagna. 55 metres out. Long one down towards full forward. Going back was laid off hands and through for a behind. The opening score of the afternoon.
Interesting there too that Rick stood in the goal square. He went down with Lade to force a contest, but Garrick still got on the lead. Came away from the goal square.
Short pass is good from Wakeland to Symes. Back pocket for Port Adelaide. Find out from Robbo about this breeze, but there hasn't been a breeze all morning, and yet the flags have just started to flutter a little bit at the moment. So we'll find out if that's starting to pick up. Back to Symes. Runs through half back and sends it long. Corns is back in the team after missing a couple of weeks with a punch at lung. Knocks it to his own advantage. Beautiful flick over. Blake, Rewalt, ball back to Rewalt, who's in sensational form. Thought about playing on advantage, but it comes back instead to Ball.
Ball to Rewalt then, just forward of the wing. Goddard cuts inside the forward 50 and freed up a man that was well played. Goddard took the marker away from Graham, who finishes up with a footy from 52 metres out towards Gehrig. Attracted a crowd off hands. And the ball may have gone across the boundary line, just missing a behind there off hands. Second
time in as many minutes that Graham has had the ball 55 metres from goal. Now that doesn't seem unusual in itself, but for a half-back flanker.
Lade knocked it down. Jew. Symes hard against the boundary line. Slapped away by Baker from Pearce. It goes across the boundary line as we go down to Robbo.
Absolutely perfect day, boys. Nothing to do with the wind. It's just come up a little bit, but it's just ideal. It's absolutely sensational play. The thing that Grant Thomas said, though, with the kicking long term, what you said about Graham, they're going to try and kick long goals. They're going to get choked up like they did against Fremantle.
Lade found Sean Burgoyne, who couldn't find White. Pearce kicks it off the deck, but Fisher loops the handball to Graham. Saints come to the open side and Harvey's free. He can play on. Revolt leads. Garrick leads. And Kane Corns gets back and chops it off. From the rebound, Symes. Salopek. Short pass to Loney. Just the 15. But he marks on the point of the square at half-back flank.
Bright sunny day in Launceston. Inside the centre square. Wakeland flicks it across to Pettigrew. He unloads. They'll compete about 30 metres out. Off hands, loose ball. White has it. Tried to hand pass it forward. Chopped off by Fisher. Boss and now Del Santo. He runs it up to left half back. Del Santo looking up the wing. A lot of Port players in that direction. Kept his composure and came back towards the middle. And the target was Fraser Gehrig. Gehrig across the ground. Interesting kick. It's okay. Graham kicks it up towards the wing. Mark is missed by Blake. Back in the side this afternoon. Gathers it. Terrible kick. It wanders inside the 50 late. Gets a fist on it. Milne spins out of trouble. Comes to Harvey. Can he finish from 35? No. It's the post and lucky to do that.
It's good to see that Michael Ricks, who's, he's been around footy a while, he is forced Lade to compete on the 3 occasions the ball has come in long. And Lade normally just peels off, and against St Kilda in the past he's picked them off, but Ricks has brought the ball to ground on 3 occasions just through the contest, so running man on man with him.
Due to Wakeland to Chad Corns, who sends it out wide, and Sam Fisher was on his own. Shorts to Graham, who likes to play on, comes to the open side. Justin Peckett forced to wait a long time, and it got there. He still has room to move. A bounce inside 50 towards Revolt. Hard volley, not quite there. Thurstons. Corns of the Kane variety, and now Pearce, who sends it long. Motlop takes the mark on the wing. Wants to take them on. Has a bit of a gallop. Looks up. Hasn't got a lot long. Has to short. Their leading goal kicker Marnie takes the mark. Runs into trouble. Loney. Now he can launch a ball, but he couldn't get onto his good foot. Marnie lends assistance. Back again. They flick the ball around. Pearce got it from Salopek. Wobbles it towards half forward. White edged out of the contest, and a free kick to Damon White, but he might be beyond his range.
St Kilda have had unlimited opportunities already going in forward, but they, as long as they can get the ball into the hands of Del Santo to pick the eyes out of it, they'll spot up at target, but their kicking's been poor.
Stuart Dew puts it out of bounds on the 4.
Gee, both teams frittering away.
Says it wasn't out of bounds on the 4. We had a pretty good view of that one.
Touched first, yeah. Both teams frittering away opportunities with their kicks inside 50.
Whose side are you on? Comes down behind, picked up by Fisher. Voss. Baker drives it up towards the wing. Goddard works in front. Stays off the ball. Symes grabs him. But not before he got a hand pass to this man Montagna. Backs off and finds Boss. Well played. Steps around Motlop. They concede some ground, though. He comes back to Max Hudson, who chips now towards centre half-back. Baker releases Voss. Voss goes towards half-forward. Milne, who's been active, goes up, takes the mark. Comes up pointing.
Good hands. There's space out to this side of the ground.
That was a very good mark. Revolt. This will be interesting. Again, a couple of Port players there. Surgeon, who knows no fear, gets a hand pass away to Wakeland. Wakeland, with some time, just pops it out wide. Surgeon has run on. Carries the ball towards the wing. Surgeon arches the back, beats a would-be tackler, still going around the outer side. The former South Fremantle boy can run. Goes down towards right half forward. The kick of an exhausted man, but a good mark is taken by Thompson.
Inside 50s, St Kilda 7, Port Adelaide 2. Saints haven't posted a goal yet, and Port are a big chance.
It was a good run, if not a little bit out of control. Now Thompson. He'll kick from about 40 metres. This for Port Adelaide to lead. He rams it into the post. We still have that question hanging, don't we? Why so many posters this season?
I've given you the answer.
No, you didn't. It was unsatisfactory.
Well, I'll stick with the fact that they're longer and kicks are more accurate, if you don't mind. Graham Sends a long ball towards Ball, who flies from 4 deep. Can't bring it down. Off hands. Little kick around the body by Montagna. Keeps the ball alive. Packett attacked it but left it behind. Surgeon, Chad Corns, Kane Corns, centering ball. Pretty good ball too. Pettigrew, flick handball. Put Schomburg on under pressure. He's gone. Sam Fisher had him cold.
Oh, they're away on the other side.
They're really peeling off. It took Fisher a while to see Harvey running. Voss is ahead of him if he wants him. Harvey wants to come back into the corridor. Baker ran into trouble. Good to see him back in the team. High bomb down there. Revolt couldn't get a fly at it. Thurston's lending assistance in defence at the moment. Symes, Chaplin, Kane Corns, and he'll go with the pass wide. Good pass too, because Pearce can run.
Pearce decides to kick immediately. Sends it up towards the wing. White. Low and hard. Motlop had it bounce off his chest and go across the boundary line on the outer side wing. He was lively last week against the Cats. St Kilda having more of the ball so far. In fact, I was unkind to Hudson. He got a fist in there. That was a terrific effort. Didn't seem to be in the contest. Pearce sold a teammate into trouble. Burgoyne gets out of trouble. Goes down towards full forward. It bounces towards the goal square and beyond. And goes through for a minor score. So it's all tied up at 2 points apiece.
You look
approaching the midway mark of the term.
I mean, look at it the way these two teams. I mean, Port without Power, without Treadray. You'd think St Kilda on paper looked the better team, but it'll be a good test for them not to panic, because the Power are really choking up their forward line. That's a spill over the boundary by Max. Just wants it a bit lower. Yes, not my fault if you put it above my head. He's just said.
Well, don't set him up here. He was knocked out here about, what, a year and a half ago?
Oh, that pocket too. Yep. Chris Grant.
Yeah, although he gets knocked out on most grounds.
That's
so
right.
It's no different here really to anywhere else.
Oh, good tap.
Rex it was with the palm down. Can they get away with it though? Baker tucked up against the boundary line, tries to keep it alive, runs into trouble. Del Santo on defensive 50, pokes the pass, well measured. Blake wants to run. They're chasing him. They were catching him. Milne. One grab, not the second. Good spoil by Wilson. Knocked it down to Chaplin, and Port can reload on the open side. Chaplin to Thurston's. Symes down the middle. Hasn't got a lot to go too long, just has to poke it wide. Wakelin from the wing. Game hasn't really started yet. Nothing spectacular. No teams just waiting for something to happen, someone to turn it on, and Motlop was hoping to then but couldn't. And we'll get a ball in on attacking 50 for Port Adelaide.
And that unidentified flying object was Maxie Hudson. Just launched himself, missed everything, but certainly split the pack open. Boundary throw in right on the 50.
Del Santo given some latitude here.
Ricks in front, struck him on the body. Thompson went to ground, laid sockers it towards the square, but getting in the road is Voss, and he takes the mark. 2 points apiece. Low scoring affair. It's been open enough. It's a long ground, plenty of space, and quite a few easy kicks to be had. Maguire comes out very wide. Fisher gathers right on the boundary line. Graham thought about a hand pass under pressure. Heard a voice, goes towards Fisher in the middle, but it's coming back. Graham was held too long in the tackle, so well, a little confused by that.
It was a down the field, but he
Was he slung, was he?
Yep.
Okay. So the ball is taken by Burgoyne inside the defensive 50. We lost him sort of in the shadows in front of our commentary position. Meantime, Goddard had a chance to get a turnover. Ball punches it down towards full forward. Going back, Revolt. Well played by Chaplin. Got a hand on it. He's emerging as a good young player.
He's got good size about him. He's got reasonable pace as well. But St Kilda just have to get some composure when they kick the ball inside their forward 50. Unfortunately for the Saints, Del Santo, who's their best spot-up type player with the footy, where he spots up a leading player, he hasn't had the ball forward of the centre. If he does, he'll poke the eyes out of it.
Symes, Wakelin, Thurston's, and now Loney move the ball towards the wing. Motlop was down there, but Hodgson got a little handball out. Ball couldn't collect it. Baker does. Sold the dummy to Goddard. Held up a half back. Pokes it towards Harvey. Off hands. Symes has had plenty of it early. Tries to give it towards Logan. Stolen back Salopek. And now Sean Burgoyne is also getting plenty of the leather. Long kick to Marnie, who faked for Hodgson. Made out he was going for it before he did. Ebert tucked into the pocket. Keeps it alive to Motlop. Kick around the body by Corns. But Sam Fisher's waiting. Gives off to Del Santo. And the Saints can reload.
Still we wait for that first goal.
Was interesting, that fake mark, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To keep Max Hodgson away from him so he didn't get to the drop area.
Rex gave it to Graham, who gave it to Burgoyne.
Ackland getting set to come on. They're going to try and tag or triple team Big Brendan Lade today.
Surgeon had it knocked away by Fiora after Logan had given the hand pass. Coming up is Graham. Advantages paid. Gehrig inside the centre square. Kicks for space. Revolt is one out down there.
That is
hard odds to buck.
the first nice kick that has gone inside forward 50. And they're just given the space because the turnover by Surgeon, that's where the turnaround is. Watch Marnie, he fakes it, I'm going there, and that stops Max coming towards him. That is a very, very smart play.
We've been waiting for this first goal for some time, like the first sighting of Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now. Eventually, Revolt puts one through.
Well done to the Saints. They get on the board. Now, this is the nicest kick they've gone inside forward 50. Doesn't break stride. 12 times inside 50 for one goal, the Saints. So you'd think that ratio is going to get better.
First goal of the game, first goal of the afternoon for Nick Revolt, who was the difference between St Kilda winning or losing last week. 23 possessions and 15 marks and a couple of goals last week. And Gehrig, who has a checkered career down here at Launceston, takes the mark inside 50, and after waiting 16 minutes for the opening goal of the afternoon, we might have two within 60 seconds.
Ackland's first time on the ball, and yeah, well, there you go, Del Santo. Just able to put it to the side that favours Big Fraser.
He's gone berserk down here a couple of times in the last couple of years. He might go berserk with goals today.
He got rid of Wakeland pretty easy. Lade jumps early. Just watch this. He sees and he knows what he's doing here. He puts it out to that side, and Fraser just works Wakeland away from the drop. Well, that'll be like a quick ease for him. He gets heartburn down here occasionally, and that's just like a quick ease for Big Fraser. He's calmed now. He'll go through till half-time unless something really bad happens.
2 goals in the space of a minute. Fraser Gehrig gets his first. He didn't play in round 4 against Port Adelaide. His best effort against Port, 5 goals in the 2004 preliminary final. Lade hooks it down behind. Fiora gets a hand pass away. A couple of Saints converged on the football. Powell had it initially. Harvey goes down in a tackle. And we'll have a ball up.
Big Fraser there. He could have stuck with the mullet for the heritage round of celebrating the 80s.
Everybody celebrating the heritage round except Port Adelaide. There's the bounce. Lade at the second attempt. Corns kicks it out towards the wing. Spoken like a company man doing. Down goes Fisher, in goes Harvey, and the kick will go to Fisher. It's a shame because that Port Adelaide jumper, and Dwayne was telling me it had to do with the wharf. It was the look of the wharf. I thought it was always prison bars or something.
Yeah,
but
so did
it was
I.
one of the most distinctive jumpers. A terrific jumper. Be nice to see it out there today, although given the strip the Saints are playing in, maybe you couldn't have both. Maybe this is the alternative strip to the heritage strip.
Away heritage jumpers.
Rob Harvey's not going to spot this one up into the goal square. So, hey, big little Stevie Baker, little
Stevie Baker.
barrel-chested ferret. There he is.
Sideshow Bob.
He's a cracker, isn't he?
He's back today.
Yeah, we love him.
There's Hodgson. Across the ground. Graham inside the centre square. Amazing stat. This is Graham's 10th possession, but an amazing stat as they kick it backwards more than any other club in the competition, the Saints.
208 times so far this year, in fact, Dennis.
Dave told you too. He said it was my stat alone.
Kick in, danger. Voss, toe poked it off the deck. Play on, not 15, Symes.
We're getting two-timed with stats.
Oh, absolutely.
Wilson, and now Thompson, who sends it long to the open side. Nice pass. Wakeland's got away from Gehrig. He knows chasing's probably not Fraser's forte. To Logan, the replacement in the Port Adelaide team for Treadray, and now Marnie takes the mark. In fact, it's White, just outside 50. Backtracks. Ebert spears the pass, and it's almost cut off by Harvey. He's forced to lay a tackle, and it was an illegal one.
Old teammates there.
Yes, and Darryl Wakeland, who hasn't kicked a goal this year, will have a chance to actually kick one. No, too far out.
Wakeland was appealing for 50 there. I didn't see who threw the ball, but it missed the target by quite a ways.
That'll be play on any second.
In short, just dabbing it inside the 50, and the mark is taken by Logan. Not sure about his range. Am sure about this man's range from 65. Stewie goes long, right on the line down there. Terrific mark is taken by Ackland.
We're playing against his old club.
That's a big leap, although he was on the way down, and he finally controlled it. The umpiring insisting that he come between the goalpost and behind post.
Sends it wide, hoping for Fiora. Speaking of ex-Port Adelaide players, Fiora, former Port Adelaide SANFL player, and he sends it out of bounds on the full. Ackland will be hoping to prove Port wrong. He was virtually their fifth choice ruckman at one stage, behind Lade and Brogan and Primus and French, who was there at the time that Kane Ackland was at Port Adelaide. Lade. Now Chaplin. Can send it long. He sends it wide-ish. Bouncing ball. Makes it a little tough. Good pick-up, though, by Pettigrew. Caught. Handball just in time. Marnie met by Fisher. Voss. Fisher's handball. Just knocked away from Fisher. And it's out of play, and we'll get a ball in. Half-forward flank for Port Adelaide, who are still yet to register a goal. And we've played 21 minutes in this opening term.
Big day for that man too, Grant Thomas, as we have this boundary throw-in. Flicked behind by Lade, who's been in vintage form. Harvey got it from McWalter, runs up towards the middle, feigns a hand pass, didn't release it. Milne playing well up the ground. Defensive side of the wing, Milne. Peckett thought about going back to Milne. Cruising past is Harvey. Down towards half forward through the legs of Gehrig, and it runs out of bounds. Just going back to Grant Thomas, today he passes Stan Alves. Is the second all-time at St Kilda for games coached, 116. Mind you, it's a long way behind Alan Jean's 332. There's Robert Harvey. Comes off the Yapster.
Rob Harvey, I don't know if Rob's hit a target by foot yet. He's had a few kicks. I think he'd probably had a couple of handballs.
333rd game, Derby. Surely he's hit one by now. Ackland.
Not today.
It's it long. Voss the target. Pettigrew thumped it clear. He toe pokes it off the deck. White and Fisher. Good battle this. Fisher wins out, but White's got him. Got the handle in Maguire's direction. Ebert tackled a little high. And speaking of Heritage Round, but Ebert, his father was voted in the top 10 all-time South Australians of the 80s. South Australians of virtually all time, if you want.
Fraser Gehrig off.
Short pass to Del Santo. Inside 90 seconds to quarter time. Montagna.
He replaced Fraser a couple of seconds ago, so he's going to go up into the midfield. They'll try and run the ball through and just leave Revolt and Milne inside forward 50. Now they're a show with this man kicking it forward of the centre.
Baker to Del Santo. Just chips it, hoping for Milne. He's got a couple to beat and beats them both.
He only had the two targets, and that was Revolt and Milne, yet they had four opponents against them, so it had to be a very good kick. Just watch him. He waits for it to unfold, gives it plenty of lead. This style of game, Del Santo's the most important player on the ground, and arguably going the other way if Stewie Jew can get into the midfield.
Normally a tough kick from there on this ground against the breeze normally. No breeze this afternoon. And the Saints have got 3. Port Adelaide yet to get a major.
Well, Del Santo is against Sean Burgoyne, and I would think that you'd probably want to play a closer checking player against Del Santo, because if he's allowed to run free through the middle, 4 defenders against 2 attackers, he'll still be able to put it to advantage. Rob Harvey's shown us already, if you leave him free running forward to the centre, he's only going to kick to advantage 1 out of every 2 at the moment at best.
22 plays 2. Port no strangers to goalless quarters. They're 4th this season. They still have some time. I doubt they can do it now, though, as it's scrambled out of the middle down towards half forward. Milne coughs it up. Symes has an early bounce, lacking support. Kicks towards half forward. Wide of the target. They're intended for White, but Fisher generally has controlled that battle. The hand pass pretty high and awkward for Voss, who manages to control it and beat the tackle. Sends it down towards half forward. Powell finishes up with the football. And the Saints finish up with the lead at quarter time. It's Sunday football. They would be pleased with that. 3 late goals. The difference in this game. St Kilda 3-4-22. Port Adelaide goalless at quarter time, just 2 behinds.
Yeah, celebrating the 80s. St Kilda taking on Port Adelaide to the music of the Swingers. County the beat, Dwayne Russell. The Saints are up.
You know them all, don't you?
Oh, it is terrible, isn't it? The Saints are up by 20 points. Goals to Garrick, Milne and Revolt. Well, it's been 6 years since St Kilda have beaten the Power. Let's have a look why they do it. Under Mark Williams, a powerful spell has been cast. Let's have a look at the team averages. Well, look at this first 9 games against St Kilda. 9 games you have to go back, and Tim Watson was the last coach of a St Kilda team that beat Port Adelaide, and here are the averages. They are down some 35 in disposals, 12 in marks, but this is the one that really has hurt them over the years, and that is 10 more hit-outs, and a lot of those going to advantage, and that transpires into 4 more inside 50s and a massive discrepancy in the score. Let's take a look at today's game. Go down to the bottom 3 lines here, and total clearances 8-4. Hit-outs 2-9 in favour of Port Adelaide, but most importantly, hit-outs to advantage, with Ricks and Ackland doing exceptionally well when he came on in the second part of that quarter. Hit-outs to advantage, only 1 more to Port Adelaide. So St Kilda are able to scrap out the 0-all draws from the hit-outs, or so to speak, and they've got 3 centre breaks and 8 total clearances to 4 in their favour, and that's why they're getting first usage of the ball. Let's go down to a champion from the 80s. Well, he was in the nightclubs as well anyway. Michael Roberts.
Shut it out, Derm. But very interesting to speak to Matt Rendell before the game. He said, if Port Adelaide are going to choke us, we'll choke them. That's why it took so long, 15 and a half minutes to get that first goal. It was all about setup for the Saints. Max Hutchison said from the back line, they look as though they're being choked, so he had a fair bit to stay. And then Matt Rendell said, be patient. I think, Derm, you said it during the call. St Kilda just have to be patient to get 1 out of blokes leading out of the square, and that's what they'll do in this second term.
Got to spot up the kick very, very well. Ackland to resume, and Fisher, Graham and Symes have all had double-figure disposals because of that back line flooding and their free running in the back half.
Ackland got the palm down straight to Sean Burgoyne, who ran into Del Santo. Will get another ball up. 20-point lead to the Saints heading into this second term. Corns, third man over the top, dumps it clear, and Sean Burgoyne might get another clearance. A toe poke, tap straight to Lee Fisher. Del Santo around the body. Powell spent a lot of that first term on the bench. Centering ball to Baker. Good movement this. Baker dishes off to Ball. Can he hit a target? Goes for Gehrig. Makes it impossible for him. Wakeland, half court. Handle to Surgeon. Flicks it out. Chad Corns. And he rolls it towards the boundary. It won't be delivered because Ebert takes it across the line and will get a ball in. Is that a throw, Dermot, or is that failing to take possession and knocking it on?
Yeah, he didn't really secure the ball, did he? I think the umpire's just gone totally with the benefit of the doubt there. He didn't really secure the ball.
Milne close to the boundary line. You would feel a fool, Derm, if you were appealing for deliberate, wouldn't you? And it didn't go out. We saw that the other night, and again there was a lot of appealing going on, and the ball was still in play. There's Pierce. Dew breaks
That's
away
better.
from half back, punishing kick down towards half forward. What a beauty. Marnie took it.
What a kick.
You could hear the connection.
Oh,
How?
he'll have a seam mark down the middle of his chest now.
Yes.
That's
That was a beautiful kick. Comes back towards the middle. Burgoyne inside the centre square. 75 metres out. Goes long down towards full forward. Fisher battles with Motlop. Motlop controlled it. Did the hard work. Knocked it down to his advantage. Then socketed and missed.
What a kick in field play that is. Well, that's this type of game. They're allowing you possession of the ball. Both teams are in your back half. So get the ball into the hands of the blokes who can seriously kick it. Unlike that.
Hostin got it to Graham, who got it to Baker, who got it to the boundary umpire, and Sean Burgoyne had a good game last week. 22 possessions last week, but he was kept to just 3 possessions the week before in that loss to Richmond when he was tabbed by Kane Johnson. Sean Burgoyne, he is a key to Port Adelaide's success. Stephen Salopek sends it long, and the ball thumped across the boundary line. Will get a ball in. Baker on Pearce, who's having a good season as well. Daniel Pearce
Kicks the ball long on most occasions, Daniel Pearce. Just loves to make great connection with it.
big chance to win the NAB Rising Star this year, especially given Mark Murphy's injury. Harvey and Powell combined to Graham, who does play on. Dal Santo. Revolt's going to lead from the goal square. Ball in his direction, and he was a long, long way away from it. Wakeland chops it off.
Wakeland assessed it very well then. Just peeled off, realised that Gehrig had come too far up the ground and just went back into the hole. Now Corns to his brother. Kane to Chad. He drives it towards the outer side. White takes the mark close to the boundary line. As we said earlier, a lot of energy expended on this ground. A lot of places to run. Well done by Voss, as we saw Pettigrew try and edge him under the football. Montagna coughed it up. Powell, Goddard, the cross half back, rather untidy hand pass. Harvey under pressure, kicks it to the wing. Taken out there by Maguire. Fiora, plenty of runners alongside and forward. Ackland has it, shrugs a tackle. Kicks to space. Now a real chance. Coming up the ground, Voss. He's run hard to be in this situation. From 45 metres, Revolt! 2 metres out. And he's claiming he was in the square, and I think he was.
Yeah, I think Chaplin's body held him in the square after he's taken the mark as well. Let's have a look here. He might have jumped from outside.
Where is it, from where you took the mark they do?
Well,
I think it's where you land. He puts it through.
Is it from where you take the mark or where you land,
Oh, Sunday football, don't we raise some questions here? Where does he jump from?
It can't be from
he's
where you
jumped from
take
in.
off.
That's where whether you...
He's jumped from within.
Yeah, but is it where your knees land
Or your feet? Oh, come on.
Now
man.
watch this again. I mean, the knees are outside the square.
Oh, well, couldn't
Maybe
get
it's
an
what
accurate
hit
one.
first.
Maybe Dave shot that one.
Oh.
2 goals to Nick Revolt, and we're having a look here. He marked it on the line, but he landed in the square. So,
But his knees landed outside, and they were the first things to land.
One of his feet was outside as well. As
Yeah, it's a wonderful game, isn't it?
It is
Where was he when
Just
the mark
throws up.
was completed?
Yeah.
In the square.
Well, he owns this venue. He was born in
He can do what he
Tasmania. They
likes.
claim him even though he was raised on the Gold Coast.
Del Santo went looking for ball. Ball was upended immediately, and there's going to be a free kick. Ball will get it. He was upended illegally. Just squares it to Fisher, pushing up the ground. Fisher looking inside a congested forward line, spots a man on the lead. Fiora, who can kick it a long way, has it 55 metres out. Gehrig comes as a dummy that time, so to speak. Fiora, Del Santo.
Yeah.
Revolt is back in the square.
Careful how you describe, Fraser. You've already got Cam Mooney on your back.
Now, Cam and I settled our differences last week. Here's Powell. Fires and misses. Well, I think perhaps Cam thinks I'm bad luck. I turn up and bad things happen, but I was on his side. I was the only character witness during our telecast. Immediately it happened, and I took your line.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Inconclusive.
Inconclusive.
Brad Ebert, who started on the bench
12 times I said it.
Again this afternoon, as he seems to quite a lot. Back to Wilson. Michael Wilson now to Kane Corns, who had a sensational game last week in that loss to Geelong. 34 possessions last week, Kane Corns. Salopek pokes it wide. They're messing with it a bit. Loney will be forced to shepherd for Wilson, although he peeled off and it worked okay. Loney, half-back Chaplin into trouble, gets through. Salopek, Loney, White, a long way down. Back to Salopek, caught, gone, dropped it.
Good tackling.
Goddard, Del Santo, Harvey. So play on. Voss is wide. Gets there, takes the mark. Now Revolt or Gehrig. They're both having a chat about who should lead. In the end, neither did. Del Santo drops into the hole. He pokes it in Milne's direction. Corns goes the punch, missed it. They picked it up and handled to Ebert, who is another one of Milne's victims. Play on advantage, if you can call it that.
Good
and the umpire can't call it that. And that's got to be 50. Revolt just kicked that off the deck across the boundary line.
All umpires had turned their back on play by then because it was called time on.
So there you go.
Right.
The controlling umpire down there,
right.
I'm sure, I think it's, is it Stuart Wynn? Once he's called no advantage, he's turned his back on where the ball was and turned back to tell them where the mark would be taken from.
Glad you cleared that up. Here's Corns out of the back pocket. Little chip. Wakeland's got it now.
Jew's moving.
Wakeland across the ground. It bounces inside the centre square. Fiora went down. Burgoyne emerges with it. Runs towards half forward. Sets it up inside the 50. Motlop is behind. Knocked away by Fisher. Here's a chance for Motlop. Chased by two Fishers. Goes in and gets the goal.
Geez, some talent there. There is some real talent there. Now that the criticism on Daniel Motlop is it hasn't been all that forthcoming on too many occasions. Watch the little snaking S as he runs. Onto the right, back to the left.
Yes, Ben.
Inside, yes. He just, as you call it, Dennis, the snake through water he was.
Sure he was.
Hey.
The Port Adelaide finally get a goal. Took them 9 minutes into the second term to register it. Late in the ruck. Chad Corns will handball back to Pettigrew, all the way back to half back. Corns, Wilson, back to Kane Corns. He's under pressure. So from the clearance, they've got the takeaway, but they've gone to full back with it. Chaplin goes to the outer side. The 1-2, Symes, and now Logan. Wilson, they worked to the wing, back to where it almost started from. They should almost come back to the centre circle. Ebert's lurking. He's on 50. He can kick them from there. Sizes it up. Maybe they can get two in a minute. No, dumped through. Graham and Fisher against Thurston's on the line. And it's a behind.
That would drive statisticians to distraction, would it not? It was footy's equivalent of diving's reverse tuck. As the ball comes in the midfield, ball is taken by Hudson. Harvey. They work it forward. Montagna inside the centre circles. Del Santo now. Lade stays off him.
Well, he didn't panic.
He pulled out the watch and said you were growing sleepy. Hand pass from Goddard. Voss down towards the 50. Now Fiora can line up and kick it behind. Maybe hit the post. Kicks it behind. Short one to Salopek as Port bring it in.
You're barracking for them to hit the post now, aren't you, Dan?
Well, that was close. I thought it may.
Kane Corns.
Why is that?
Salopek. Thurston's against Fisher. Fisher wins out. Well played by Logan. Put his body on the line. Kane Corns pokes it around the corner, hoping for Pearce over his head. And we'll get a ball in on the wing. There is Daniel Pearce, overlooked by everybody in the draft. Port Adelaide rookie listed him and gave him a chance late last year, and he played the last 7 games of the season last year, and he's played every game this year and been spectacular. Harvey chips the pass and cut off by Symes, who's also having a pretty good season. Brad Symes, his 3rd year on the list. Chad Corns, long ball across goal. Wakeland and Gehrig, and luckily Wilson as well for Port Adelaide. From half back, pokes it to White, takes the mark.
Second time he's let up hard and had good soft hands out in front of his face on the lead.
White 75 metres from goal then. Half distance kick just inside the 50, and Marnie
Play on.
took the mark.
Look where he is now. Look where the man. Well, look where the umpire is. Now he's swung around that way.
So why wouldn't he just call play on rather
I
than...
don't know. Damien Sully's the umpire there.
I've been looking away, Dan.
Oh, he wasn't. No.
Oh. Ebert goes across the ground. Pettigrew has it. Umpires this afternoon: Rosebery, Sully, and Wen. Pettigrew short. Loney, who can kick it a long way from 60, gets under this one. They'll compete right in the square. Big leap from behind. A Port player knocked it down in front to Marnie, who snaps and kicks a goal.
Well, I don't know if it's going to continue on, but St Kilda have been lulled into a state of lethargy at the moment. It's almost like
It's that
they're
watch
not...
theory that Dennis is...
I know, that's what made me think of it. They have just lost their impetus to try and break lines. Rather than that, the likes of Del Santo is standing there thinking, what will unfold for me?
Interesting too, the way they played this. Knocked down in front.
Yep.
Marnie snaps the goal, but then they go for the muted celebration. So they don't excite St Kilda. It's as though it didn't happen.
Or don't wake them up, because they appear to be sleepy in this term, as you said earlier. I mean, good season, Josh Marnie. 23 goals now for him. Ball flicked out to Del Santo. Spears the pass, hoping for Gehrig. Forced to make a spoil, and it was deemed illegal from Fraser Gehrig.
There you go. Fraser might get angry because people are dropping in front of him.
Ball turned over. Was that advantage? Harvey picks it up. It's advantage to St Kilda. That's what advantage it was. And Harvey goals it.
Worth another look, Dwayno, just to see what type of advantage it was. The spoiler was there. Oh, look, he was not under pressure, Darryl Wakeland, and he went for the pass, and he just clean missed a shot, a pass from 15 metres away.
But if you have a shot at goal, you get play on advantage. If you have a shot at goal, they bring it back if it's behind.
No, they don't. Not if it's a skill error, just on your behalf. If you're under pressure...
Saw one earlier last week.
Just have a look at this one. There's the free kick. Now, Wakeland decides I'm going to play onto advantage. The ruling is, now I did clear this up with Jeff Geishan, the ruling is if you get play on advantage and you miss your next disposal just through a skill error alone, the play on stands. It's when you have some form of pressure and there's a skill error in the play onto advantage mode, that's when they'll call it back.
Del Santo out of the middle into the path of Fiora, met solidly by Pettigrew. Burgoyne emerges with the footy then, kicks inside the 50, low and hard. Thurston's gotten to the back of Hodgson. Hodgson will get the free kick.
So what if the player just perceives there's pressure, Derm?
That'd be... yeah.
So who makes the call on whether he's under pressure? If the player thinks he's under pressure, whether there's a player there or not, does the umpire make that judgment, does he?
Yes, he does. Then that's why you need umpires who have an understanding of the game. Don't bring your Port background to the table here, Russell.
I'll just ask you the questions, Derm. You're the answers man.
Fisher to Fiora. Raises another question. Harvey, 55 metres out. Montagna, similar distance out as they skirt the perimeter. Montagna confronted there by Salopek, gives it to Del Santo, runs to the 50, lines up, kicks it across the face. Big leap from behind by Wakeland. Takes his anguish out on the football there and thumps it across the line.
Are you insinuating that there was perceived pressure on Darryl Wakeland when he was 25 metres in the clear and walking?
I just like to take you to areas you don't necessarily go on your own, Derm, that's all.
Like a married couple.
Logan's got it on the wing. Just adds to my interest to have you think laterally. If that's okay.
I like it.
Chad Corns. From one half-back flank to the other to Wakeland. And he needs to hit a target with this one. He's under perceived pressure. Hands to Chad Corns.
Hit the target, though.
He did.
Don't bring it back.
Symes Back to Corn, sends it long, and dropping back and taking the mark is Voss. So they have woken up, the Saints. 37 plays 16, and they're back in the game after a lull for the first 10 or so minutes of this term.
Del Santo. Across the ground he comes. Fiora, 75 metres out, goes looking for Gehrig, didn't have the carry to reach him. Peeling off once more, Wakeland backs himself against the football. Symes over the top. Salopek from half back towards the wing. Chad Corns takes the sliding mark. Hasn't seen a lot of the football this afternoon so far. Great to see him back though. Goes to Thompson, to Pettigrew. Whoops. Now Pettigrew with ample time to half forward. Motlop changed direction, and that's what did Fisher. There's Harvey up and limping, but just trying to run it off. Now they're on Burgundy. There goes the kick from Motlop down towards full forward. Oh, terrific attempt at the mark down there by Fisher. That was Lee Fisher. Baker gets a hand pass away to Del Santo. Good football there by the Saints. Collectively kept their heads. Hutchton comes in short. Graham has it. Not much up ahead. Cruising past Montagna. Draws Burgoyne. Goes to Fiora. Burgoyne played it pretty well. Goes on to Graham. They cough it up through the middle. Salopek back to Graham. Interesting stuff. They've got about 5 metres and all of that. Both sides making fundamental mistakes, and the umpire will call for it.
Now, the one thing that I would look at this and say, look, if you were coaching this team at the moment, they're trying to get the ball into space. There's a trip and a bit of a flick on the way through. Neither team is actually running super hard. They're sort of running at three-quarter pace, trying to link up with chain handballs. It's quite packed, and they're playing shutdown footy. You've got to get some blokes who are willing to run the lines and just take on the opposition, but really sprint hard.
Graham got the handball out to Voss. Now he spots ball running, and it's set for him beautifully. He's away. Revolt's in the goal square still. The lead comes from Gehrig. It's poked to the pocket instead to Blake. And Chad Corns read it beautifully. Pops it over the top to Logan, who's getting plenty of it in this term. As we said, the late replacement for Warren Treadray, who's out of this Port Adelaide outfit. Thurstons.
Oh, nice movement.
Playing for his football life, Toby Thurstons. Back to Logan. He was dumped, and it's a free kick. 80 from goal. Got a little nudge in the back, and Tom Logan, second game of the season. Port did consider drafting him, but the year that Brisbane drafted him first, played the 3 games for the Lions, and now playing game number 5 overall. All the way back to Symes, and they've worked it back to the centre of the ground.
Lade is on for the next one though. Down towards half forward. Now they haven't had a dominant forward. Treadray out of the team. Michael Roberts telling us he was suited up, but eventually didn't come out. We didn't see him in the preliminary either, so he made a pretty early call.
Got to get Stewie Dew out to the outside the 50 line on these types of plays.
Lade changes direction. Oh, brilliant pickup by Motlop, and again a wonderful dummy. This will be a great goal if he kicks it. Well, he didn't make good connection and hits yet another post. This time the behind post, out of bounds on the full, and Lee Fisher will get the free kick. That's a wonderful gather.
Wasn't it beautifully picked
Shows
up?
the ball to the man coming across his leg, but then
Reverse top.
just didn't get it sweetly enough.
Of course, the posts here have got the unique red tip. Just a little Launceston touch to them. Graham sends a long ball inside 50. Corns flies. Blake was with him, and it's a free kick to Milne.
Watch this.
Yeah, it was grabbed. Surgeon had him.
Good spot by the umpire there, because he's in the middle of the pack, and that would be easy to lose the sight of that as you watch the 2 bigger players come over the top.
Good game last week. Stephen Milne kicked the 3-2.
It's a good accurate kick normally. Put the Moz on him there for you, Dan.
There's one so far this afternoon. Gee, a super Moz. He didn't even make the distance, nor would it have scored. It would have been out of bounds on the full. Chad Corns.
Not his best effort. Chad Corns short to the opposite pocket. Symes takes off. Has an interesting kicking style, young Symes, but looks a handy player. Comes up towards half back. Lays it off. Thompson. Pearce. Little chip beyond the wing. On the lead it's taken by Motlop. Possibly their most dangerous forward so far. Motlop. Back to Symes, who's pushed up. Growing in confidence.
Just seems to have a little bit too much agility for Sam Fisher at the moment, Motlop.
Kane Corns. 37 plays 16, just over 4 minutes till half-time on Sunday footy. Corns goes back, and there is no one behind Chad Corns who's taken this mark. Everyone is forward of him, including Pettigrew, who takes the mark just over the wing. Plenty of numbers the other way, though. Pettigrew told to hurry up.
I reckon
Oh dear.
Grant Thomas is actually improving a point here to his counterpart, and he'll probably, like cricketing captains do at halftime, go in and say, how about we call off this game style?
Will they do that? Huxton got a fist on it, knocked it across the line. Well,
captains can agree in cricket. If the match is dead,
they can, well, to a point, they can't call it off before half-time, though. It's generally just the last hour.
I know, but they can come to an agreement.
Well, it gives us the second half. That's the last hour. You're
Correct.
quite right.
They might go in at half-time and say, all right, that's not good footy to watch. How about we play man-on-man the last half?
Dew running out of space. I think you're at your lateral best today, Derm. Let's go down to Robbo again on the boundary.
Thanks, boys. Just an update on Robert Harvey. And quite a lot of pain. A left cork, bad corky too, right in the belly of it. Ran it out. Now he's on the bike, heavily strapped as well. Wants to come back on.
High kick from Burgoyne. Saw Robert Harvey in the peloton as the ball goes out of bounds in the opposite pocket, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Margin 21 points. Low scoring affairs at the turn of the century, and obviously this is Heritage Round. Denied the use of their jumpers this afternoon. They're playing Heritage Football Port at the moment. 2 goals approaching the major break. None in the opening term. It's out of bounds again, and will be thrown in. Mr. Feisty. Good to see him back.
Yep, little bakes.
Adjudged his favourite. Boundary throw in. Peckett knocks it down. Graham goes after it. Had plenty of the football this afternoon, Graham. Well-weighted kick, if you'll pardon the pun. He got it to McWalter and fishes away.
Runs through the centre circle. Wants revolt. Puts it in his direction. He's got 2 to beat. Almost. Corns off hands. Good tackle by Ball. Still over it. Still being tackled. Chaplin tries to thread the handball out. And the umpire might need to sort this out with the ball up.
That was well worked by the St Kilda forwards. It was a 3-on-4, and it could be termed a win that they were able to hold the ball in.
Walter and Ball finally getting up.
Look at those inside 50s, Dwayne. 28 to 15 in favour of St Kilda.
Danger spot here. Thurston's forced to do the ruck for Port Adelaide. Up against Blake. Chaplin. Chad Corns. That's position number 15 for the quarter. Thompson. Corns. And now Surgeon through the midfield. There's a couple of options short. And Pettigrew was one of them. It's a little too short for him to mark it. Did he dispose of it legally? Good tackle by Blake. Umpire decides play on. Motlop half ducked into the tackle, dispossessed. Corns tries to throw it out. Blake, Goddard sends it wide towards Fraser Gehrig. Takes the mark, wants to play on, runs inside 50, has his pants dragged down, and that was enough. That spurred him on. And he gets goal number 2.
It is Heritage Round, and he wouldn't be the first big forward in the 80s to run down a street in Tassie with his pants down, Dwayne. He didn't make the greatest contact with it. Also, Luke Ball tried to lay a tackle on the last time the ball was in St Kilda's forward line on a play. There you go. Credit card check coming up.
So Fraser Gehrig's got 40 goals for the season. His second of the afternoon, 6-7-2-4, and Port need to be careful approaching halftime. They're falling off the pace. One down by Lade superbly. Chad Corns, a brilliant term as you heard, to half Thornton Burgoyne, who did mark it, I'd venture to say, inside the 50 by a step or two.
We've seen Motlop and Burgoyne both have given Sam Fisher, who's been in wonderful form the last year or so, as he's risen to be a mature senior player, they've both given him a bit of trouble on the lead. Big kick, this man.
Harvey back on the ground now. Watching Burgoyne fire at goal. Distance not a problem. Accuracy was. Margin 26 points.
Good news, Harvey back on. Turns 35 in a few weeks' time, round 21. What a great player he's been. Goddard chips the pass wide. McWalter held up at half-back flank. Back to Harvey. So this will test the hamstring out. Inside a minute to half-time. Harvey not all that keen to play on quickly. Just pops a pass toward the wing and sliding in, taking the mark is Ricks. Saints box with all the players that aren't playing almost in that box as well. Peckett sends it to Gehrig. Takes the mark. Wants to take them on. Gets around Wakeland. Inside 50 with the kick. Milne the target. Off hands. Boundary line the sanctuary here. And taking it across Thurston's. It was a deliberate movement across the boundary line, but the Saints don't get their call for a free kick rewarded.
Inside 50s. No surprises there. Uncontested marks. No surprises there. Nor on the scoreboard. Burgoyne trying hard to lift his team. Was in the grass before he got the football back from Dew. Surgeon missed it. Milne got a present. Taken high. He'll get the free kick. Oh dear.
Young Surgeon, he is having an absolute nightmare in getting a handle on the ball. Jacob Surgeon, he's coughed up and dropped, I'd say, 3 or 4 receptions. Handball receives.
So Milne will fire at goal after the siren.
Can get himself into a bit of trouble, Jacob Surgeon. He had 2 car accidents over summer. One in his car and then one in the loan car the day after. It was a bit like that succession of handballs.
He was in a slump.
He was.
Just the kind of driver I love to see.
So Milne right on the 50.
Milne.
Not his best effort.
This
It's
is
half time.
one of the poorest kicking games I've seen for the year.
Wasn't he the man in the siren game that had to kick after the siren? So he's no stranger.
Was it Baker?
Oh, it was Baker. That's right. I knew it was one of those little terrors. 6-7 to 2-5, 43 to 17. Port's third lowest score at halftime ever. And for those of you who follow their football closely, you know they've played 425 halves. 6-7, 2-5. Back with more shortly.
Welcome back to Aurora Stadium. Round 16, the Heritage Round, celebrating the era of the 80s. In excess leads us in this time. Magnificent. And it is a 26-point lead to the Saints. Let's go down to Michael Roberts now on boundary line side.
Thanks for joining us, Tomo. They choked you early. It's been pretty difficult to score. And is this the message still to be patient?
Yeah, you've got to be patient. We don't want to sort of give it up to them when they've got more numbers back behind the footy. But, you know, I thought we worked it pretty well there. Probably could have got a few more advantages from our shots at goal, but I thought we were doing okay.
Disposal has been pretty poor, I reckon.
Yeah, look, you know, it's pretty difficult when you look up and there's guys zoning off all over the shop. It puts a lot of pressure on the kick, but just got to keep persevering. We're getting lots of numbers to the footy. We're winning the key areas of contested footy and also the clearances, which we haven't won for 5 weeks. So we're heading in the right direction. We just need to snap the game open.
And they're double teaming Rewalt. They're dropping blokes back. You expect them to change it up if they're going to win this game, Port Adelaide?
Well, that's not new for Nick. So, you know, we just got to make sure we use the spare guy. So it's no rocket science there.
Thanks, Tomo.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you, Michael. It was good that Tomo spoke to him this time.
As opposed to last time when he just gave him the respect that you normally give him on the aeroplane, Derm.
He says one-word answers, and then he said, "You're not happy?" Said no. He's a lot happier this time, Robbo.
He is, and it was actually, I spent the whole time in the rooms, and the other thing is Robert Harvey, he did not sit down. Then trying to work this cork out. And he is vital because he had 14 touches before he actually went down with that corky. So very, very mobile. But Tomo up and about, and Milne is going to kick the ball high and have a shot at goal instead of trying to ping it from about 60 out and punch the air out of the ball too. The disposal's got to lift, boys.
He's normally such a good kick.
Any word from Port, Robbo?
No word from Port. I actually spent the entire half-time in the St Kilda rooms.
I gathered that. Start of the second half, 6-7-2-5. Good bounce to start proceedings. Rex was up very early, Lade got it down to Pearce, loops it over the top to Loney, runs towards half forward, spots a man out of the corner of his eye, and that is a brilliant kick. Mark was dropped by Motlop, gets free though, lines up on goal and misses. Gee, it was a good kick by Loney at the last moment. Saw Motlop and somehow, despite the pressure, almost got him the ball. Motlop should have marked it. There you go, changes his mind.
Oh, was it implied pressure, Dwayne, or?
He's got a big bag of tricks, Daniel Motlop, but he doesn't open it every week. Short pass to Goddard. Unfortunately, because he'd be a fantastic player if he was a little more consistent, Daniel Motlop.
Yeah, he just doesn't bring that bag every week, does he? That's you just want consistency out of him.
16 possessions, 11 marks last week, but with 47 games for the Roos, he's another man who can turn it on when he wants to. Milne wobbles it towards half forward. Gehrig off his shin, diving through Montagna with him. Pearce, both half had it, both half had each other. Ball comes out from Pearce's hand to Del Santo. Shrugs the tackle. Pearce back in, knocks it out to Milne. Chip kick. Montagna and Jew a toe poke, and the boundary line beats them all. We'll get a ball in. Lee Montagna, not selected round one this year, but has played every game since then. Laid 9 tackles last week in a performance that helped the Saints scrape home in a game they nearly lost, nearly threw away. Loney from half back. White. Loney drifts past to call for it again. White ignores him, goes long. Motlop, let's see the bag of tricks here. He's forced to punch from behind. Marnie slaps it down. Salopek, perfect pass. Symes inside 50. Takes too long. Got a little push in the back. And the kick in the end, goal by Marnie.
Now does Symes get a goal assist?
That is.
I love stats, you know that.
Yeah, well, now look at Brendan Lade. He's competed for 2 tap outs in this quarter so far, and both of them have been direct hit outs to advantage.
Interesting, the push in the bum is allowed, but a push in the back is not.
Hey, steady.
That's true.
I know, but you can't.
They give you a lot of tolerance for a push in the back if you're actually running 2 goal.
I think you've got to be a bit more technical than that.
I think so.
I think you do. 6-7-3-6 back in the middle. One of those disjointed conversations. Del Santo comes away. Tackle. Ball fell to the ground, and the umpire says Del Santo simply let it fall. Corns. Kane goes out wide. Salopek has it. Salopek spots Lade going across the ground. Hands to it. Couldn't complete the mark. Now he's got a problem. Maguire. Haven't seen a lot of him. Knocks it out of there. Gathered by Pearce. He was claimed by Montagna. Salopek against the flow. Did well. This is Loney. Loney from half forward had a lot of the footy in this term. Goes down towards the pocket. Reaching over the top. Hodgson.
Now, Dennis, let's just revisit this. There is a tolerance by umpires.
Yes.
If you're running to an open goal, if somebody gets a hand on you and pushes you in the bum, they give you a bit of a tolerance, whereas other parts of the ground, they would ping you for it.
Why is that,
I don't know.
I think it's to do with the language. As the ball comes out to Harvey, who spills the mark, and it goes out of bounds.
Dennis is not happy with you.
No, I know. My own belief is
It's a Sunday afternoon.
that it is the smart aleck ruling. You've taken a few steps too many, held the ball too long, you're making a surety out of something.
Yeah.
Just like the run down from behind. They love calling holding the ball if you run down from behind.
It's the smarty bum rule.
Yeah.
Coming through was Marnie. Burgoyne gets it away. Surgeon snaps. Trying to work it back, not enough. Behind. But Port is showing more aptitude in this term and a lot more energy.
Going well in the middle of the ground. St Kilda have only got the hands on it once, and that was to Del Santo, and he was dispossessed.
Graham, kick out. 9 games in 4 years prior to this year, Jason Graham, and 16 of 16 this year.
He's been very good for them. He carries the ball, gives them pace out of the back line, Dwayno.
Coming off a 19 possession game last week, and work it around again in defence. Chip kick to Baker. Pops it up to the running Hudson. From half back, sends it long. Fisher lurking on the wing, and he takes the mark, Sam Fisher. Gehrig leads to the pocket. We saw him right of screen. That was ignored. Now Revolt leads right of screen. That's ignored. Gehrig's lead continued, and he's rewarded, but too far out to score.
He loves to play on onto the left.
He took a step, so that is play on. Revolt's on the move. Got it. He is just within range, you would think.
He was perpetual motion there for about 30 seconds, just sprinting, running around in little circles. Got the camera on him here. Just great movement.
43 goals for the season now, including his 2 for this afternoon. In fact, the Saints have got 2 players in the top 10 in the AFL goal kicking. Port Adelaide doesn't have a player in the top 30. Revolt sends it long and misses the near side. Only a behind.
Wakeland to bring it in. To make that sort of searching lead takes a leap of faith for somebody like Nick Revolt when Fraser's got the footy, because Fraser gives you the impression, I think, that he hasn't got the energy to kick it. Ball comes back from Graham. There he is.
Ooh, he wanted to play on them too.
The man. 20 metres out. Slight angle. Lining up his third.
There's no place on the ground where you can afford to turn the ball over, but one disposal away from a shot at goal, the goals you're protecting, is not the place to do it.
Gehrig, having one of his better games against Port, and at this venue, puts a throw.
Out of the ground. Bit of a settler there. Now watch this. There is no real pressure, and that is a spoon kick that is just coughed up and overcooked. One possession later, a shot at goal. He'd be pretty disappointed with that kick, Kane Corn. So that's 2 goals St Kilda have got from misdirected kicks by Port.
3 goals now for Fraser Gehrig. 41 for the season, and Port Adelaide on the ropes. Lade, who's been winning the ruck, again down to Sean Burgoyne, who's been winning the takeaways almost all year. The 1-2, and Lade, after getting it back, hits White with a perfect pass, and he is in all-Australian form, Brendan Lade. I know that there's been people pushing up for other players in the comp. Jeff White, Troy Simmons, their coaches are pushing up for, but Lade leads in a lot of the key stats, and palms to advantage is one of the biggest ones for a ruckman, and he leads that in the AFL, Brendan Lade. Damon White, another player who Port Adelaide have signed up long-term this year, new 2-year deal with the club now until 2008. And they put their faith in him, and that's why he slots it and keeps them in with a hope.
It's hard enough to get on the tap out in the centre circle anyway, but then once you've got it, everybody's so close to evade the tackles like Schoenberg on there and then just get the ball going is just an instinct. It's an uncanny ability, and he just showed power, and even, dare I say it, grace, the way he spinned before he offloaded the handball. Spinned. Don't laugh at me, Dan.
I'm not.
Spun.
7-8 to 4-7. That was a pretty important goal. 19 points the margin. Was 26 at halftime. Del Santo goes down under a tackle. They'll have a bounce. The breeze not a factor. Pretty cool day in Launceston, but a good day to play footy.
Look at that crowd. No one's running away from this one.
Lade was held. Didn't matter. Laid it down to Pierce. He's away. Brilliant speed. The man who got the last goal assist. Symes in desperate trouble. Salopek taken down by Maguire. And we'll have a bounce. In fact, it was the goal assist before the last goal. White kicking from long range, bringing up the goal that really has broken the nexus in this term so far. It did go initially goal for goal. And there is Fisher, dragged down. Harvey advances at about 20 metres inside the centre square. Peckett comes up. Gets a quick hand pass to Montagna. Run down by Burgoyne. Arriving first, Wilson. Corns alongside. A couple of Saints, though, arriving quickly, forced him to delay the hand pass. Pearce went to Corns. Well done by Ball. Forced the mistake. Wins the free kick on the wing, right at the interchange gates. Great stuff by Luke Ball.
Not a peep of an argument out of Chad Corns. Just kept running straight on.
Ball. Off his step, Peckett had to wait. Arriving quickly, Surgeon able to knock it across the boundary line. Let's go down to Michael Roberts.
Fraser Garrick has run 150 metres. He would have got cramp running that far, but he's actually asked the doctor for cramp tablets. He's just taken them and gone back to the goal square, suffering from cramp in both legs.
All knocked down, not to advantage by Rick, so he goes and gets it again. Harvey. Now Baker. Gets around Kane Corn, slips it to Montagna. He slips it inside 50. Bouncing ball. Well played. Little handball out was okay from Carlisle. And now Loney. Going to load up. Oh, he's got Salopek free. Hits him. Salopek, no one ahead of him, and has made it 3 in a row for Port Adelaide.
This is game on. They're winning the clearances now. They're winning the hard ball gets. And look, Milne probably could have gone in a bit lower and just created a little bit of a fumble out of Loney. But they are just harder at the footy when it's in dispute at the moment, Port Adelaide. And they're reaping the rewards for it.
Enjoying this. Good term by Port Adelaide. The margin back to 13 points now. Salopek was 30 metres in the clear. The only men between he and the goal were one of each. So he rolled the dice. It came up for him. Burgoyne to Pearce, who's been industrious in this term. Goes out very wide. White takes the tumbling mark. About 10 metres wider than from where he got the goal a few moments ago. Spots Jew. Didn't get there, though. Wonderfully done by Ball. Because Jew could have been deadly from that range. The longest kick in the Port team denied the football. Luke Ball again just pops it out wide. Voss has it. Kicks beyond the wing. Milner's outnumbered. Went to ground. He's going to get the free kick.
Chop of the arms.
Milne pushing a long way up the ground. We've seen that several times today. Quite often. Play is very deep under either Revolt or Gearick, but not so today.
Ackland comes onto the ground. Ricks is off. Centre bounce clearances this quarter. Port Adelaide 4. St Kilda zilch.
Graham goes back to Goddard.
Goddard just pokes it towards Milne again. Flies, takes the mark, takes them on. Runs inside 50. Tough kick. Ducks out of a tackle. Runs the full 15. The kick not quite the equal of the run. Wakeland's fist wins out. Revolt's direction. Great smother, Sean Burgoyne. Ball knocked to Salopek. Back to Sean. Chip kick. Marnie. Hudson equal to it as well. Good dump down. Good game now. Revolt. Handball to Ball. Revolt gets a free. Play on advantage. Ball runs in and kicks it behind. There's that perceived pressure, Derm. And he kicks only the 1 point. And it could well have been 6 had Revolt had the shot.
Could have been a skill error too.
Well, I'm not sure about umpires making the decision that a player doesn't want to take a set shot from inside 50.
I think Revolt, honestly, he would have had to kick it from about 55.
Okay.
It was a better result for St Kilda and reliant on good execution by skills, but just adrift by a metre or so.
Surgeon got it from Lade. 10.5 minutes from three-quarter time. Game in the balance suddenly. Untidy kick though. Knocked away by Ackland. Swooping on the loose ball. Baker. 55 metres out. Goes long. Chaplin's going back. Takes the mark right on the line. And completed the mark. Men on short. One of whom is Corns. Two of whom are Cornses. He's got the ball and he runs outside the 50. Little chip towards the wing, launching himself out there and completing a good grab is Logan. So they're getting busy. They've got run Port. And that was what they showed us last week, their ability to work, particularly in the first 3.5 quarters. Today it's come a bit later. Salopek inside the 50. Wonderful mark taken by Wakeland.
He is really attempting to work over Fraser Gehrig and take him up the ground, get him away from a dangerous scoring position, but make opportunities for himself.
Hasn't kicked a goal this season. He's normally a good kick, but at the other end.
Fraser came off the ground a few moments ago, so Wakeland in waiting for him to his opponent to come on. Drifted
Right on the 50, kicks it behind.
And this is a good test for Port Adelaide. I think the main reason that Port Adelaide have come back into this contest has been Lade and Burgoyne. And Burgoyne comes to the bench now, so they lose their main drive out of the centre circle.
He's been very good.
Sam Fisher was from Adelaide, just down the road from Port Adelaide. In fact, Sam Fisher was a teenage trainee golf pro in Adelaide and chose footy instead. Motlop caught by Voss. Umpire saw that as play on.
He did get a handball to it. Did he hold it too long before it?
I think so. Went for a rummage in that bag of his.
Still on a bit. McWalter and Motlop. And the free kick to McWalter. Half-back flank. 51 to 38. It's livened up a bit.
Yo.
Baker, half volley. Oh, didn't touch the grass. Now Lee Fisher bounces his way through 50. Ebert comes at him, but he overcommitted. Peckett. He sends a long ball towards half forward. Blake down there, couple to beat, got a hand to it. Symes content to see it across the boundary line. And we'll get a ball in. Here's that battle between Motlop and McWalter. They saw McWalter get a free.
Boundary throw in. And I think Thompson was taken high. He's going to get the free kick at left half back. Kane Corns. Again, not much on offer. That is a very short kick, barely the 15. Symes plays on. So the young man now charged with the responsibility of doing something, and he wasn't pleased to be charged with that responsibility. Eventually gets a hand pass away. Salopek put under pressure. Kane Corns involved as well. Was that in the back of Milne? Rebold has it. Around the corner comes the kick. A beauty. And Harvey takes the mark. Well, sometimes it's not the fault of the young player. I'm not sure it should have ever gone to Symes, although they would argue he's in the team. He's got to make those sorts of decisions.
Now this is a tough kick for Rob Harvey. He lets the ball travel a long way between the hand and the boot.
And he misses. That has been his one weakness over the years. And
tighten the hammy there, or is it gone to the thigh again?
He's not happy with that leg.
Corns has got a choice of ball here.
Yeah, honk the horn.
And he finds Chaplin. In fact, the ball they used in the first half, either it didn't have enough air on it, or it was one of those $3 balls from a service station somewhere nearby. It just wasn't kicked well by either team. Chip kick back again. This one's a better ball. And Logan gets on the end of the Corns pass.
But they don't have just one anymore.
Ball-wise.
Yes.
In the old days, in the 80s,
that's what they should do. Heritage round. They should
just
have
the one ball.
Could empty out Villachet's a sleeping bag.
Give the captains a choice of it before the game. 50-metre penalty here.
And then they'd still change them at quarter time anyway after the captain got the choice. No. Okay, now the runner has gone between man or mark and kicker.
Logan to Symes. They come to the open side. Wilson takes the mark for Port Adelaide.
Motlop off.
Back to Logan, forced to go down and half volley it. Made it tough for him. Symes. They've been messing around a lot, Port Adelaide. And this time they might turn it over again. Good attempt at a smother by Voss. Wobbles its way inside 50. Del Santo in traffic. Dew stole it. On attacking 50, goes back to Symes. Runs to 49. Loads up with a long drop punt. And it's almost marked on the line. Marnie kept it alive. Kick smothered by Ball. And it's not out of bounds on the full. It's a ball in. Yeah.
Well, the umpire's looking straight at it. And have another look at this.
Yeah.
Someone in the truck said a fairy tap off the ground by Lane.
Someone in the truck.
Downstairs.
Our truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the umpire's less than a metre away, looking directly at it.
So that won't be reported then, do?
Well,
Not according to the truck.
well, you'd think if an umpire's looking at it from 1 metre away with an unimpeded view of it.
But it was unintentional. He was just aiming for whatever.
Well, it was inconclusive.
Yeah, but
Montagna goes out wide. This is Goddard. Decides to hesitate out there. Comes back to Peckett. Maguire. Cross half back. Saints have got the numbers. Fisher.
They become stagnant, though, St Kilda. There's no urgency moving the ball forward. Now, there is a time to go sideways and spread the workload, but there is no urgency as they come forward.
No. Well, stagnant might be the wrong word. If they were a river, I think they're backing up there. Now we've got a ball up outside the 50. Robbo, what news?
Yeah, Robert Harvey's taken that strapping off, wasn't happy, and I reckon it's cramped right up into his groin. He's in a lot of pain here. He's been rubbing the side of his thigh, but it's come right up into his groin. He's in a bit of bother, Harves. They're going to try and stretch it out.
So it was contact originally. We'll wait on Pearce.
Pearce gets through, lines up, kicks a goal.
This is well and truly game on. This is actually getting a bit close for St Kilda's like. Well, watch Pearce. He gets the split from Stewie Dew. And nothing presents itself in terms of opposition players. Watch him come around the side. Stewie Dew just blocks out Peckett with his back to the footy. Stewie and does the team thing, but doesn't hold. Just places his body there. Allows Pearce the run on.
3 in a row again for Port Adelaide. Harvey sitting down, and Daniel Pearce continues to lay claim to that NAB Rising Star Award for the year. Good goal.
Good shepherd by Stewie Dew just to give him the split, the opening.
Thurston's in the ruck now for Port Adelaide. 52-45, getting very dangerous for the Saints, who almost had the 4 points in the bag. And we'll get a ball up.
Complete and utter control for the first half, although they never were able to put Port Adelaide away because of the game style. But once it starts to get into a bit of flow on, they're only 4 and a bit goals down.
Powell didn't get the free kick, played for it inside 50, off hands. Pettigrew snaps around the body, bouncing ball. How will it bounce? Poorly for Port, and nicely for the Saints. They can breathe a sigh of relief. And that's the free kick that wasn't paid. 23 minutes gone, 4 to go. 52 plays 46.
Lee Fisher in the back pocket, told to play on. Drives the ball short of the wing. Peckett takes the mark, plays on immediately. Graham cruising up alongside, not required. Peckett, 3 bounces, 4 bounces. Down towards half forward, kicks inside the forward 50. Revolt must get a free, doesn't matter. What a terrific mark.
Good crack. Well, Frankie Peckett has always been able to kick the footy, and as Graham cruised past him, it seemed odd that he wouldn't give the ball off just to get a bit of flow movement. But Frankie Peckett, as ever, puts the ball lace out. Wonderful kick, and Revolt just led to the fat side of the ground, away from the traffic.
43 goals for the season, including 2 this afternoon. He's kicked 12 goals in 8 games prior to this afternoon against Port, and that's not good. When he first arrived in the AFL, he was a dead-eye Dick, but suddenly that seems to have gone out the window. Chad Corns marks in the back pocket. Just over 3 minutes till three-quarter time.
Chip kick to Loney. Still looms as the difference between a win and a loss for the Saints today, as he was last week. Pearce again. Back to Loney.
He's getting a bit of the footy, Loney, and he can kick it.
Wilson, Pearce, caught, handball, Goddard. the turnover. Revolt's on the wing. Got some room to move. Looks up. Baker's the short option. Hits him. Back to Revolt. 70 from goal. Inside 50. Garrick! Went out of one hand. Chaplin caught by Powell. Surgeon loops it back to Chatcorns. He sends it wide. And brothers out there. Kane into the corridor. Port a chance to reload here. If they can work out who wants it. Wilson, Symes, Jew. It is dangerous. He can load up. He sends it long for goal square. Money! Little push. Umpire said it was a big push. It's a Saints ball. Oh, gee, that would have made it interesting.
It's a big call.
Cool.
Well, he got the cannon. Now, he did push him, worked him into him, his teammate.
Payne seems to find Max, doesn't it?
Very good closing speed.
Oh,
Max. He's been taken out. Shouldn't laugh.
No, he shouldn't laugh.
No, but this...
Wonderful player. Too much courage for his own good sometime, although that really wasn't of his making.
Who's the cartoon character who always...
Well, the Coyote copped a fair bit. There's Rex. Gets a hand pass away.
Coyote was always up to no good.
Oh, I saw it was...
Unlike Max.
He's a little bit like Kenny out of South Park.
Ball comes across the ground.
I don't know if you've seen South Park.
Yeah, I have. He's not looking forward to the final siren then, is he? On the wing.
Again.
Voss kicks inside the forward 50, and the good mark is taken down there in defence by Thurstons. Speaking of names, actually, I was reading the local paper this morning, the Sunday Examiner, listing Collingwood's best players, as Pearce has got the football. And after the name of Scott Burns, they listed Joe Bloggs. Sense of humour down here. It's very keen in Tasmania, isn't it? There goes the ball across to Loney. This morning's paper, Derm, I kid you not. Surgeon on the outer side.
Who was the reporter that filed?
I don't know. Major Morning Daily.
Would have been Captain Grunewagen, was it?
Certainly not. So that could be a collector's item.
Big.
The West Coast Eagles will want to recount. There's Wakeland. 53 plays 46. 35 seconds remaining in the term. Logan's got the football.
Pearce. Seconds tick by. Port Adelaide turn it over. Good news for the Saints. They have the last chance to score. Goddard calls for the Leeds to come at him. Now they do. Montaña's short. He sends it longer. They need a mark from Fiora. They didn't get it. Blade was there, though. Silence is golden from you, Derm.
Well, I don't know if he could have reached it.
Okay, just asking for
the angle can't tell us. If we could get Dave to get the right shot for us.
Right. Inconclusive, Derm.
Champion cameraman. Extraordinaire. Game on here, though. Three-quarter time. 7-point lead only now to the Saints here at Aurora Stadium. 7-11-53. Port Adelaide Power 6-10-46. Informant. We've got our own informant down on the boundary, Michael Roberts.
Thanks, Derm. I tell you what, both coaches didn't stick around and wait for that whiteboard. They went bang, crash straight in the middle of the huddle. They are up and about Port Adelaide. They know they can win this. How important is the first two goals here? It'll set them up for this last quarter. Tomo, so relaxed at half-time. He wasn't then. He is fuming with the poor disposals towards goal. They let themselves down, the Saints. Port can win this if they get the first couple.
Start of the final term Sunday football. 7-11, 6-10. Rucks go at it. Knocked down by Blake. Stolen by Burgoyne. His 22nd possession. He's been very good. Dew goes with the right boot inside the forward 50. White was up. Couldn't hang on. Graham does nicely. To half back. Kicks beyond the wing. Leading back is Voss. How will it bounce? Awkwardly for Voss. Broke his momentum. Taken down by Symes, but he hand passed it 20 metres. Coming up the ground is Gehrig. Perhaps should have given it. Goes back towards the middle. Baker Back to Gehrig like a colt. He gets the hand pass away. Graham can go back to Fraser. I think Fraser beckoned him off. He'd had enough. A chance now for Baker. Del Santo. Fraser is loose on the outer side. Del Santo can't get him the ball. Montagna spots Goddard. But he's marked about 52 metres out. Man on in the pocket. Blake.
Well, Blake made position exactly this spot. Mirror image on the other half-forward flank when Blake received the ball through the centre of the ground, but he when Graham received the ball through the centre of the ground, but didn't raise his vision, didn't see him. Then he was covered up, a little bit of congestion. He ends up running through the middle and getting onto this one.
Fraser still troubled by cramp on the outer side as Blake comes in and kicks a goal. That is important.
Was not a terribly difficult achieve. That's the one I'm talking about. Out to the right, Blake is already out there. I wonder if this angle shows him running through the field of vision. He'll come from the right to the left. Oh, this is the Goddard mark. There's Blake's gone through now. He has come from the other side. It's not a terribly difficult thing to do, but Del Santo stood up in the tackle. Only his third possession since halftime, 19 before that.
First goal of the afternoon for Jason Blake. Grant Thomas saved his career. He wasn't part of Malcolm Blight's long-term plans. In fact, had Blight stayed, Blake probably wouldn't be playing football right now. And he's in the ruck, trying to inspire the Saints. The takeaway, Corns to Pearce, runs to 55, loads up, long mark on the line, Thurstons.
Oh,
He's had it taken off him. It's Hudstons free.
sit on the shoulder. Well, there you go.
Gee, there was a bit of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, wasn't there?
Yeah.
What supersedes the other? Is around the neck a bigger free than holding the man?
On. Whatever. Well, I reckon that's the one that the umpire just saw more prevalent at the time.
Right.
Yeah, that would be a reflection. That's a play on adjudication, and the play on is the mark stands.
Blake's got it.
He did him then.
Well, it's a question of what he sees first, surely, isn't it?
Well,
what are you suggesting? We have a sort of sliding scale by degrees. So can you imagine the umpires then? They pull it out of their sock. Hey?
Well, it should be whichever one you see first, but it's hard to work out which one he saw first from his angle.
As they say in the classics, Tim, it's a funny game. Ball goes down behind. Graham has it, spins out of trouble. Bad luck for Port, though. Good luck for Max.
Yeah,
There's Goddard.
a close one. Footy will be the big winner too, Dennis.
I don't know about that. Fisher pushing up the ground, has got it on the wing. Cross the body. Peckett has to wait. He's marked midway between the lines. Blake wants it. Blake is clear. Thought about going to Blake. Well, the man ran off Voss, and as a result, his covering Blake got Voss free. Now Graham gets through. Kicks from 40 metres. Should have done better. Kicks are behind.
You can almost telegraph ahead with Graham at the moment. When he's inside the forward half, he's going to try and sidestep his last confronting opponent to get a shot at goal. He's done it on his last 3 occasions.
Loney gets it from Wakeland and chips it to Chaplin and takes the mark. Port's first draft choice back in 2003, Troy Chaplin. Debuted in their premiership year but only played the 1 game, and he is blossoming now as a good defender. Wakeland. Short to Logan.
Lade is outsizing Del Santo. Down the wing, he moves away. Room for Corns.
Chip kick in the Corns direction. Free kick against Fiora. And it'll go to Chad Corns. 28 disposals, by the way, for Graham for the game, which is a career high for him. Long ball. Motlop, one of the targets. White was the other, but the boundary line beat them all, and will get a ball in. 60 plays, 46. A pretty important job Troy Chaplin in game 22 has got too. He's got Revolt, who looms as the game winner for the Saints.
Boundary throw in. Lade's in front, very conscious of Blake, who wins it. Lade goes after it. Montagna has it now. Only as far as Logan. He was taken down. Another possession for Graham. Finds some space, created some space, goes across the ground. Hudson met solidly, but the mark is paid. No 50. It was Symes coming up to meet him. And speaking of career highs, that man, Brad Symes, 29 disposals, 14 marks today. Haven't all been vintage, but that's a lot of the football. Lee Fisher rumbles around the outer side, comes to the wing. Short one is on. Voss has it now. 14 points. I doubt Port can let it get outside 20 and win this match. Back to Fisher. Fisher goes short to Pickett. Harvey. Harvey would be 75 metres from goal. It's in very good form. Robert Harvey.
Now there is room across the other side of the ground. Fraser's not going to go there. Revolt might try and come out closer to this side.
Pickett. Montagna.
And this is where the patience is required. You don't have to just offload it because the crowd are getting impatient.
Well done by Wakeland. Punches it out of bounds.
If the opposition are going to put 16 inside their defensive 50 and the crowd start going boo, don't just give it up straight away. Well, that's true. Playing into their hands.
It's just that you speak crowd fluently. This ball's out of bounds on the outer side.
Boo.
Yes, just the way you said it. Logan was pushed as he kicked, and the resultant free kick comes to the Saints. Del Santo's got it now, and he got it from Fisher.
And he gives it to Graham. They come to the open side. Hudson. Can he hit a target with the kick? He goes back again. Danger. It's worked well. Fisher. Goddard can have a shot. Wants to go the handball. It was smothered. Back in Harvey's direction. He loops it over the top. Hoping for Fisher. Takes them on. He handballs wide. Ball. All the players in one half of the oval at the moment. Goddard dives. Can't take the mark. Kane Corns manufactured some sort of possession to Pettigrew. High kick. Fisher. Corns flies. Can't mark. Marnie first to Crum. Back to Kane Corns. Bouncing ball. Bounces kindly for White. Slips a handball beautifully to Salopek, but he lost it. Maguire. Fisher again. Sam Fisher to Hudson. Backtracks all the way back inside defensive 50. Graham can't play on this time. He's held up.
Spots a man on the outer side wing. It's Blake. Coming back is Motlop. And Blake takes the mark.
He's actually been very good in the rucking position since he's come onto the ground. He's moved away from Lade and made at least a 0-0 draw in the tap-outs.
Blake across the ground. Lee Fisher to half forward. Nice kick too. McWalter 70 metres out. Centres it. Milne comes hard and takes it.
Well, Porter's still alive, given the way Milne's been kicking it today. And this has been the range that he has kicked low and flat. And how we describe them as helicopters. As he's watching it go away, they turn over and the spin goes flat and drops from right to left.
Different role today. Normally he's like Donkey in Shrek's shadow, but today he's been pushing up the ground, getting away from Gehrig and Revolt. In he comes, kicks from 45. This could be the clincher. Now it's out to the right of behind.
And just as annoying too. He normally is, Milne. Now G. Long one into the centre square. Laid. Nice grab. Plays on quickly to Logan. Kane Corns.
They're going to beat the flood here.
Salopek, they have beaten it. They've got the player on the overlap. Chad Corns couldn't get the possession away. Looked up. Fisher's got it. Caught by Sean Burgoyne. Ball. Loops the handball all the way back again. Now a wide handball to Peckett is good because it's set them up. And it's from Sam Fisher. Peckett to Del Santo. He goes to Harvey, who has some space to roam. Fiora. The kick inside 50, the important thing, and he hits Revolt.
It's a tough pocket to kick from here.
Waste no time. Loads up. Goes long and touched on the line. Only behind.
Symes in the nick of time.
Stewie Jew runs to the goal square again for the kick in. Now the zone will come back because he kicked the last one 70 metres into the centre square. So the zone comes back and that makes more space.
Chaplin, goal umpire in perfect position, straddling the line. due to Chad Corns, who's made a wonderful return this afternoon. Back he goes. Wakelet. Wakelet to the opposite pocket. Loney. Carlisle, who started but was off the ground very quickly. Through no fault of his own, it was simply a matchup thing. Wilson running out of space, upended, and as a result kicks it directly to ball. Good pressure applied by Milne. So ball is right on the wing, 62-46. The margin just 7 points at three-quarter time. It's blown out a bit. They've led all day, St. Kilda. Good mark taken there by Voss. Too far out to score. Voss can put it right to the square. Riebold is lurking, trying to edge his man under the ball. Gehrig at the back, trying to back out of the pack. Fiora. Chaplin did well. Gave it to Corns. Corns looks for the boundary line. That was very clever. A very clever kick. Trickles out. Let's go down to Robbo.
Yeah, Stevie Baker really restricted with his leg. He brought this injury in before the game. Up and down. They've tried to free it up. Hopefully he can come back on in this last bit.
Saints fans didn't rule out enough for deliberate. Then laid down to Sean Burgoyne. We've seen that a few times today and this year. Motlop. Long ball. White in the pocket. Maguire got back and thumped it across the boundary line. Magnificent piece of judgment by Matt Maguire.
Yeah, he didn't look at the player. He didn't watch the body where that was going. Just followed the ball in flight. Simple as that.
We're in the famous number 31. His father John wore at South Warrnambool, where he was a champion. Took his dad's number into the AFL. Laid, flicks it back, looking for Sean Burgoyne. Gets Thompson. Now Burgoyne. Logan. Corns. He can keep them in this. Just pokes it over the goal umpire's hat. And he's got it, Kane Corns.
Well done.
There are certain statistics that we look at and we make a lot of judgment upon them, and there are some that do overrate a player standing out on the field. And I would say that Sean Burgoyne is not in the top half dozen possession getters on the ground, but he is in the top one or two. This type of play, charging through the traffic, being the game breaker, splitting packs open with his crumbing.
Very well played by Kane Corns, that first touch too. It wasn't the best hand pass in the world, almost as if he was dribbling a basketball. Knocked it hard to the turf and it came back obligingly for him. Laid. Del Santo goes after it. Something akin to what we saw from Corns moments ago. Late though. Goddard. In trouble, Goddard. He did. Thompson will get the free kick.
Touched the ball down on the ground while he was in the tackle.
Good persistence. Thompson inside the 50. Voss goes back and takes a gutsy mark. Really opened himself up as he flew there. Could have been the result of good talking too. Fisher coming up behind him. Now Montagna. Cross the ground. Goddard once more. Midway between the lines. Halfback and centre. 10 points the difference. Game still in the balance. Saints have had ample opportunities, we felt, to put this game away as Blake comes back on. Baker.
What is a concern is that all those opportunities they had, they just didn't have the polish by foot as they went forward.
And they seem to lack that sort of instinct too, don't they? Carp jugulum. Latin for go for the throat term, but you know what I mean? They just seem to ease off a little too easily when the game, you feel, is hanging on the next goal. It could be all over. Here's Fisher breaking from half back. Spots his namesake.
Jugulum was the giveaway there.
Yeah, sorry. I knew you spoke that fluently as well.
Danger to Packett. Modlob's cut it off. He's got no one inside 50 to go to. Sends a big torp into space.
Run.
Hell about. It's rolling. It hasn't got enough roll. Baker. But it didn't make it tough for Baker, at least. He pokes it wide and Voss takes the mark and they can hold it up. They have lost some games that they have had won here. St. Kilda. Launceston hasn't been a kind home for them. In fact, they left one game here thinking they had it won and didn't. Earlier this season when Fremantle took the win a couple of days after the draw. Handball to Milne is good from Revolt. Runs inside 50. Important kick. And he has missed the lot.
That is that polish that he's gone missing today. That you'd normally expect Milne to just split that very easily.
Or at least register some sort of score. 10 points the margin.
Symes into the 30s with that possession. Ebert hasn't got a lot of game time this afternoon. Goes out wide. Corns. Chad Corns. White will need to work. He's outnumbered. Maguire does well enough and knocks it out of bounds. Although you could say that White got a good result there for Port, because we'll have a boundary throw in and they can push some numbers forward.
Well, Port, with 8 or 9 minutes to go, we're down to 7.5 minutes now, have decided, well, let's win this game, because Chatty Corns has gone to the lead-up centre-half forward position, so they're going man-on-man now for the first time today.
There's a hard collision in there. Thompson in one direction, Blake in the other. Graham 31, Kane Corns 30, Symes 30, Chatty Corns 27. Bounce about 60 metres out.
No ruckman against.
Blade put it down. Burgoyne lost it. Charging in down there was Logan. He's claimed by ball. No concessions now.
So they've got to stop that Lade to Burgoyne, St Kilda, surely.
Yeah, well, Ackland peeled off the pack and went into the defensive 50 just to try and be a man behind play, but it meant that Lade had no opponent.
Lade goes to Peckett this time. Bad option. Ball wobbles it into the midfield. Milne is buzzing along. Had it, lost it, got it, lost it. Still going in. May have given a free away. No. Play on. Wilson tried to get it out, and the umpire will sort it out with the ball up. Little Stevie Milne, the bee in the bottle. He's had the yips in front of goal this afternoon. They still lead by 10 points, the Saints. 18 minutes gone, 7 to go.
Well and truly pinchable this game still.
Big thump down by Ackland wide. Sean Burgoyne tried to get onto it. Logan met heavily. Del Santo kept his feet, knocked it out. Ball, shrugs one tackle, not the second. Threw it away to Graham. Handball to Peckett is good. He's got an opening. He might go the whole way. He spears it to Revolt. Can't get there. Got it on the volley. Keeps it alive. Fraser, he can run in here. He goes hard and gets it. He's got 4.
He snicked the post.
He snicked the post.
He snicked the post.
Oh, those posts again.
Oh, wood. We've got more wood.
And we've got it in triplicate there. Loney to Lade. It didn't appear to stick the post.
Oh.
Up comes Chad Corns. What a break for Port. Inside the 50. Just propping off the ball is Thurstons. Hasn't got the footy. Will get the free kick.
What a turnaround of fortunes.
He can kick the footy pretty well, Big Toby. Imagine if he pops right through from here. Let's have a look at this again. Now, I thought there was a balk coming up here for Fraser.
Did we have Snicko on that, did we?
Well, he didn't put up an argument. The umpire signalled it straight away.
It wasn't wood. It was the fat bit.
Yeah.
Good fat bit. There goes the kick from Thurstons off to the left. Back goes Fisher, thumps it across the line. The margin is back to 10 points. Just imagine the demeanour of Grant Thomas if they were to lose this by less than a goal. They will not come back to Launceston.
What was Fraser doing? Kicking a banana from there. Oh, inconclusive.
You sure the goal umpire didn't see it incorrectly?
Fraser raised no debate, did he?
No.
But he might have heard it as well. And Fraser is
He might
the
have
kind of guy to raise a debate, isn't
Yeah, he might have heard the slap of Wilson's elbow into Fraser's side. Thought that was a snick.
63 to 53, 10 points. Kick to Graham, dangerous. Hudson mops up the mess. Sends it wide.
You know that one, Dennis, when you sit at first slip and you click your fingers when the batsman plays and misses.
Baker to Montagna.
Not that I ever did it.
Sends it long. Fraser Gehrig looming. Good hand on the ball by Wakeland. Fraser still got it. Dropped it. Slung after he got rid of it. And he gets the free. Gee, Wilson claiming he didn't get rid of it legally.
He's worked hard today, Fraser. He's really pushed up the ground. He's most comfortable staying inside 50, but he's got on the bike and worked up the ground. He's played a good team game today.
What do we think about that? I think it was Wilson who knocked the ball clear, wasn't it? In the tackle.
So how does that count?
If the ball's knocked free, it's played up to Wilson. You're not allowed to sling them after the ball is...
No, I think
definitely a free kick there.
Yeah.
Was it a free kick before?
I don't think so.
Starts at left, leaves it left, up towards the line, and it is a behind. 11 points the margin, 4 minutes of play remaining.
Still plenty of time. Chad Corns in the back pocket.
Couldn't get another draw, could we?
Well, let's test the siren. Can you go round and see Robert Gronawagon? As the short one comes in, Symes once more. Breaking for him is Wakeland. Gee, another goal would make it interesting. Wakeland's on the wing. Crossy comes to Corns. Kane Corns. Symes. Whoops. He's not the best man in that situation yet, young Symes. He put Kane Corns in a terrible situation. Now we've got a scramble and a ball up. So the time remaining, not very much. I'll tell you soon. You'd be unlucky, can't you? Fiora comes off. There's the time. 3:25.
What's Bergeron?
11 points. So a draw is possible in this situation. Goddard comes up, taken down. McWalter. Del Santo, the look-away hand pass. Fisher under pressure. Kicks through the centre square. The big man Laird is working out. Follows the footy. Fell over. Hand pass comes to Chad Corns. Dabs it to Kane Corns. Here come Port once more. Marnie! Oh, will he get a free? Play on's the call. In the opposite direction was Boss. The ball was jarred out between the pair. Graham's got it. Could be run down from behind. No, got a hand pass away. Blake to Lee Fisher. Fisher comes out towards the wing. It's all Port.
Salopek just pokes it back to Logan, who's had a big last half. To the open side, he's got Symes. It's over his head. Loney's got it. Spears the pass, hoping for Ebert, who marks on 50.
Has he got the legs from here, Dwayno?
With no breeze, it's going to be touch and go. He's not the longest kick. What commitment from both players there, Voss and Marnie.
They haven't got a big man on the line, only Burgoyne.
Ebert,
that's got
not
the legs.
bad off the boot. It's accurate, and it's there. Wow. 2 minutes and a goal.
Oh, they will do it to us down here, St Kilda, won't they? Oh. Nice touch by Loney too. Just put it out in front. Maguire didn't make it there. Yeah, he can kick it even. He's a good striker of the footy. That is perfect. Struck. And big Warren takes a breather in the back there.
Brian Treadray on screen. Late withdrawal. 2 minutes to play. And a goal. The margin from Port Adelaide being able to hit the front. There's an interesting fact. They've got a good record, Port Adelaide.
Amazing.
Look at Burgoyne's telling his forwards, run away from the front of this centre square.
Laid to Corns. Del Santo closed down immediately. So we're under 2 minutes. The curse of Lonnie for the Saints.
And look at this. They're trying to drag play. See Ebert pull away from this pack here. They want to make it free so they can get a quick ball away and a bit of run out of the pack.
Laid brilliantly down. It'll be a free kick. It'll go to Logan. He was taken high.
It's on.
A minute 45. Logan. They have been fantastic, Port. They've stuck at it this afternoon. Not a lot to play for. Salopek kicks inside the 50. Money! Left it behind. Fisher. Ball now. Marty's still groggy on his knees. The short one comes across to Voss. Another thrilling finish at Aurora Stadium. How's this for Endeavour? Goes down low. It came out almost a mark, certainly. Touch and go. Fisher in the back pocket. Steadies things down. Approaching a minute. Next possession vital. And Porter picking up their men.
You cannot hang on to the ball for more than 40 seconds without kicking to a contest.
Ebert being held, surely. He'll get the free kick. You can't argue that. Under a minute to go. Ebert towards the middle. Dangerous place to put it. Salopek couldn't hang on.
Still a chance. He's got it. Umpire allowing play to go on. They'll ball it up. 47 seconds left on the clock.
Stewie Jews forward of the ball. You'd need him around the pack at the moment. You need his striking ability from outside 50.
59-64. Port Adelaide a goal to hit the front. And we might get a secondary ball up here. We will.
I'm listening for the siren too, Dwayne.
Okay, just keep you. Actually, can you just get a stubby up against the window just in case?
Stubby.
That was the case in the draw earlier this year. Timekeepers being alerted by that. Harvey, an important takeaway, sends it wide. Seconds being eaten up. Ebert gets back in time to collect it. He's got the short pass. Kane Corns takes the mark. 25 seconds and counting. Loney chips the kick to half forward. Diving, taking the mark is Symes. Oh, this is it. He needs a mark from this kick inside 50. High kick. The Flyers go up. Big mark! Motlop from the clouds has reached into his bag of tricks and taken the mark of the day. Oh, no.
Oh, look, he winced. He's winced the boy. He's like he doesn't want the responsibility, Dwayne.
This is every kid's dream in the backyard of mum and dad's. A kick after the siren to win the game. Oh, mum's called him in for dinner. He just has to slot it between the trees. And he has poked at it and missed it. An unbelievable victory to the Saints by 4 points. And Derm, you picked it. He didn't really want to have it.
The poor kid, and he's such a good kick normally, and the kick absolutely reflected how he felt about the responsibility of taking on the shot. We might even just have a look at it again. We'll let it run a bit more and look at the anguish on the young man. That's a terrible thing for him. He had a chance to fulfill, and what a great catch, though. What a great grab. That is copybook stuff, scrapbook stuff. Siren goes. Now he goes back here. Right about now, the siren goes in a few seconds. Watch him wince. See that there? That is like, oh, please don't leave it to me. And now he has too much time to think about it, and his kicking action changes. He doesn't kick through the footy. He doesn't punch through it. He absolutely gives it a toe poke, and he's lucky to make the distance from 25 metres.
I was looking down there trying to find Chris Connolly, but Fraser Gehrig is out there talking with Robbo.
We are standing in the same spot almost back in the Fremantle time, and that was tragic for St Kilda, but this one's worked out all right. What is it with this ground, Fraser?
Yeah, we haven't had much form down here. I don't know what it is with the players, but we've never played good footy down here, and I think the games, like the game today, probably showed that.
Had to be really patient. It really tested you, didn't it? Because both sides were choking each other. It took a long while to score goals.
Yeah, they obviously played every man his dog behind the footy, and made it a real dogfight. And I know we probably didn't deserve to win, but we got there.
Well, you deserve to win because they hung in there, but the Saints say you let it most of the day. Now they double team Nick Rewalt. How frustrating is it for forwards, especially down here?
Yeah, it is. I mean, the conditions are perfect, and what is it, 16 goals or 17 goals between two sides? It's not what you want, but we'll take it. Probably didn't deserve it, as I said, but you know, moves us up a spot on the ladder, I think.
Can you explain the disposal, especially trying to hit targets and shooting for goal?
I don't know, mate. We've done plenty of work. The conditions are perfect. We've done a heap of work at training, and just wasn't our day, mate.
Hang in there, Fraser.
And Fraser Gehrig there. Good day at the office for him. He worked pretty hard.
I think Fraser thinks they've lost.
Well,
he said they didn't deserve to win it.
It wasn't our day.
They got one out of jail there.
it's amazing the psyche of footballers, though. Motlop's kick, I said it's every player's dream, but it is some player's nightmare.
Absolutely.
And it was his nightmare.
It certainly was. You could see it etched on him. As soon as that siren went, the wince of, please don't let it be me. He might have, could have, I know some players who would have been smart enough to develop hamstring tightness right then and there. You get the likes of Gary Buckenara to come over and take the kick.
Makes you show how good that was, doesn't it, when you think about some of the players who've taken big-time kicks after the siren.
Absolutely.
Only 4 points really riding on this afternoon.
2 disappointed teams leave the ground today.
But they've had a bit of luck a couple of weeks in a row, the Saints.
They got the 4 points. They did the job by 4 points at St Kilda. 8-16-64 to Port Adelaide. 8-12-60.